Welcome to January 24 Pop In and Learn. Today we're talking about how to take a traditional scrapbook, get it digitized through Forever Box at Forever, and then recreating copies using three options. We can use Autobook, Create and Print, or Forever Artisan. And then within each of those options, I have a couple of choices for you as well. The book that I took, it was 66 sides in my example. So some books are going to be larger, some smaller. In a small box could fit usually about one book, and then a medium box, usually three. But again, that's going to vary depending on how big your books are and how thick the pages are as far as what fits in them. And then you can see the end result is a very thin copy compared to the original. And the quality is very good. You can see this side-by-side comparison. So when I did this first example, I did it as if it was exactly the same. I matched it all the way up edge to edge. And then if I needed to, I would color the backgrounds of the two pages coordinated. And if I were doing all of my books, I would probably do it that way, but that is a lot more labor intensive. I will show you a couple of options that are a lot quicker for you to do that as well. So let's start with, I'm going to bring over Forever's website. If you go to the home page, one of your options up here is digitize, and that's where you would get your box to start the process. You would want to take specialty. Album pages need to go into specialty. Right now, boxes are 40% off. Whenever you buy a box on sale and then you fill the box, whatever goes in the box above and beyond your box credit. So let's give an example of this medium box. Has a $299.99 credit, costs $180. If you fill the box with enough digitization to go above and beyond $299.99, whatever's above and beyond that, you would take a 40% off discount when you're kind of guesstimating how much your box is going to cost. Whenever you're digitizing a book, you're going to take each page, and that's each side is an album scan. So not both sides like of a page. Each one is a separate one. Okay, so you buy the box, they ship it to you, and then you pack your box. There are videos about packing boxes, and actually, so it'd be under Forever and then digitization. The videos are already out there on my website. So this is kind of an overview of a Forever box, and this is how to pack it. Same thing up down here and step by step kind of. So if you learn by reading, that's a help there as well. So again, that was on robynfoss.com. Go to Forever digitization, and those resources are there for tips on packing your box. One tip, if you have a traditional scrapbook like mine that's from Creative Memories and it has these edges that are reinforced, that's called jeeping. And you need to tell them that you don't want those included in your finished scan, so they'll crop that out. So you have to, when you're filling out your forms, you want to say no jeeping. Okay, so we bought our box, we got our box, we fill our box and send it back in, and then we get the images of our pages added to our Forever account. So I don't have any current scrapbooks out there that have been digitized, but I can kind of show you what that looks like. You hover on your avatar, you can go down My Forever Box Center, and once they're done being digitized, they will show up. Let's see, I think it's this one. They'll show up out here. Each album that you have scanned will be in a different list here. So these are just photos I had scanned. So your whole page would show up here. If you have Forever storage, it'll automatically be added to your storage. So what I did, once my albums were digitized, I created an album in my Forever storage called Family Books. And I did send in the spine of each book with my books and had them scan it so I could see a quick reference, you know, what that was belonged to, but you don't have to do that. But each page is scanned. So these were before I started doing Creative Memories. Let me see if I can find one real quick that has the jeeping still on it when I forgot to make that note. You can see here the reinforced edges on the left and right side of the page is the jeeping. And so you want to say no jeeping when you're filling out your paperwork for a page scan. basically you would see the whole page, including the jeeping. So you don't want that. And it's one more thing for you to have to crop out. So I just created a nested album for each of the books that I got digitized. And then as I started going digital, I kept those same kind of pattern. So these are just my digital pages that I've completed now that I've gone digital. So then let's say I wanted to take this family 2003 book and create a copy of it and print off maybe 2 copies for my kids. What I can do is right from here. So option number 1 would be auto print. So you would click print. And then you want to do standard auto book. And then you would select, I'm going to say select all. Then you would decide whether or not you want hardbound, softbound. So one thing I found in playing with this is when I did 12 by 12, I had to split apart the pages. And if you like 10 by 10 size, you don't have to do that. And you'll see in my demo what I mean by split apart. All right, so we're going to do hardbound 12 by 12, create my project. So now this is what it's called, automatically creating my book. So your first page is your cover, and you can change the color of that by clicking on the circle, and then you have, color options available, and you can pick a pattern if you want to do that, and you can apply to all pages. Looks like that is the only option. I would just want the one. So if you wanted to apply to all, and if I did this, yeah, it's one color for all of them. Okay, so the next thing is you'll have to create you have to pick a photo for the cover because it just has one opening, and I usually like that first page to be on page 1. And so what I did is I went up here, I clicked on the image and I said replace, and I'm going to go into that same album, and I found a picture I really liked of the kids, and then you just hit enlarge. Of course, that one says it's giving me a warning. So I found one earlier when I was playing around with this and I zoomed in, or you can go out, like I had these pictures in Historian and I sent them out to Forever and replaced it. So you want to kind of get your cover finalized by finding what picture you want to put on your cover. I'm just going to leave that for now. You can add text on your spine, and that's going to give you option to change the type of text and the size and the alignment. You can also do text down here under that accent photo on your cover. So then what I was talking about split is there are, let's go here where we hit edit layout. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's kind of like multiple pictures thrown on here. So if I click on it and say split, it's going to make them all individual pages. And so you just have to kind of repeat that. So you click once, hit split, and you just repeat your whole way through splitting your pages apart. And that's using AutoBook. So pretty quick, all you have to do is split your pages apart. And then I would go through, personally, I would open up on a separate screen and double check, all the pages are in the order that I want them to be and that there aren't any pages missing. And if you wanted to, you can add story in addition to what is already on the story in the boxes provided on the page. I'm just going to finish clicking that. Two more to split.
Robyn, I'm sorry. I think I missed something. Why are you splitting the pages?
So it took my scanned pages and it would put like 4 on a page.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
And so
Okay.
I just clicked that page and it put 4 on a page. And if I hit split, it makes 4 pages or 3, depending on the number of images that are on
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Then if I click on this page, I can, if I want to, auto filter and see if that improves it or not. I can also move up and down. So you can see that it's slightly shorter than it is wide to create space for this text box. And so that means on some pages, you have to kind of squish it in there to make everything fit. So, but this is, I have customers that hey, they want it super simple. And this is super simple. You're just saying create a book and then you split the pages apart, add a photo on the cover, and you're good to go. But when I created it, I wanted it to look like it was an exact copy where it's spread across the whole page. So that's something you're gonna have to do in Artisan. So this sample 1 is auto book. So let's go back out to our Forever home screen. The second option is create and print. So create and print, you want to go to photo books standard. And then you can pick a theme. So I have looked up a few themes that have an opening that works. I'm going to filter down to advanced text boxes. This classic collage, black and white, they have a photo opening that works. And then also Chasing Rainbows has a photo opening that works. Chasing Rainbows is my favorite. So let me search. We'll take this off. And the search designs. All right, we have 12 by 12. And actually hardbound, that's what I want. Hardbound, start. And you could do softbound. I just prefer the hards. The classic black and classic white are going to go with more themes. And this will be more, won't go with everything. You probably don't want every book to look the same. But I liked the template the best that comes with this kit. So what you can do is go down here and say change design. And it's the first one, which is nice. So I just clicked through and I just did change design on each page. And when you're done changing all of those, at the end, you can just, when you run out of pages, because I had 66 sides, and this is page 21, when you add a new page, you'll just pick that first design. So you just kind of keep doing that process as you go. Okay, so then how do I add my pages using create and print? Well, you would click this plus, you would navigate to where you have that album stored. I will say when it first comes back to you after being scanned, it's going to look something like this. It'll have the digitization center's number. It'll have this Forever Box logo. But once you're done getting your items digitized, I would recommend filing them away so that they're, with all your other memories. And then I would navigate to that album that I want to work on. And then you can say, add this as my title page. And then I would go to the next one and you can see now, I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit. You can see right here, it says page 1. So as you add them into your project, we'll do another one. Page 1, page 2. So it shows that up there. I'm gonna zoom back out. We'll do page 3 and you just kind of work your way through. The nice thing about this is it is a true square. So it's not going to, this could have something to do with the fact that I have, these are older books that are narrower than they're tall. So you could go through, confirm that, the journaling is showing is what I would do on that. So just make sure that it's not cut off. And you can make this all right in the website using create and print. You would have to get into Artisan to do it. So let's look at doing it in Artisan. I have a couple of examples. The one that I showed you in that picture, I don't have that page file with me, but I'll show you a couple that I did recently with a pixels to pages template that makes it super, super simple. So I took this book my mom made for my brother's family and digitized it. And then I created this book by using the template that they provide. And everything quickly ran in there. I did also autofix each page and kept the colors from the autofix if it improved the page. And oftentimes it did make a big difference. One thing that you'll have to do when you're digitizing a book and you're creating a copy is create a cover, because a lot of times the cover was like a fabric cover, and so it's not going to have pictures on it. It's not going to be digitized for you to reuse. So I would use one of the templates that comes with Artisan or one of the blueprints. And any of the cover templates or seamless lay flat pages will work as a template. And then what I did is I took pages from that same project and zoomed in on my favorite pictures on the different pages. And I put those, my favorites, on the cover. So that's what I did. But if you have the original photos and historian and you want to use them, that might be better quality, but that was a quick and easy way for me to do that. You can see over here all of the scans, and they come in with this, the box number, and this is the item, and then this is each item has, so like one item I was getting digitized was this scrapbook, and this is scan 1, scan 2. So it's really easy to make sure that you get it on the right page. So if I go back to page 56 and I look at my photos and I go to scan 56, and you can, see that that lines up with the same thing. So that is kind of like a dummy proof thing. So those of you that are in the room can come look at it in person, but in Zoom land, you can see that there's just a white trim around the pages, and it does not affect, I can get it where you can see the whole thing. I don't know, it just turned out really well. And it was quick and easy to take my mom's book and digitize it. So then she had a copy that her hands could handle holding. And then we gave the original to my brother. And we did the same thing with pages she made about my dad's life, and quick and easy. So how you would do that, you would create a new project. And just for the purposes of time, I'm just going to do the same thing, 12 by 12. And then these are the two that you can use. So one is a 21 page and the other one is a 99 page. This will load faster, so I'm going to go ahead and just do this. And then photos, you can add them here, you can add them later. Either way, we would go to forever, but I'm just going to do it later. And then we're going to go demo, artisan. It'll create a blank cover, or actually they do have a cover template. So if you want to use that, you can put a photo in there. I like how they have done this. It shows you're going to start on the right page. It's telling you this is a live folder holder. All you have to do is drag the photo in. It is not going to go all the way to the edge, but it'll fit your square page scan. And it kind of tells you multiple places that this is a right page. So photos, I'm just going to bring in. So I went get photos, browse forever, albums. I'm going to go to those family albums. Or family books, I called it. There they are. And then the August, that same one we were playing with before. And let's see. We're going to put it in A to Z order. That way it'll be in the scanned order. And I'm just going to bring in these first 7 pages to show you. All right, import. So you would select all and say import, and it would bring it all into your photo bucket to use. Okay, so now my pages are over here that I brought in. Okay, so if I go back to pages view, you can see I'm on page 1, first page, it's the right-hand side. I go to photos. I can see right here, this is, well, for mine, it says number 2 because I had scanned the spine of each album with it. So that's going to be my first page. But if you don't do that, then you will not have my issue that I had. So you can see a drag and drop. And then what I like to do is go to photo, auto fix. And then you can, brighten it up. And that might be a little too dark. So if we do that, let's go to color. And you don't have to do all this, but if, you wanted to kind of work on the page after you add the picture in, just kind of brighten it up a little bit. Okay, so let's go to the next page. So now left page, and you can go over here and say show photos not used. That'll make it simpler. And if you wanted to, because I like to look at my pages next to each other, you go to view, spreads, 2 bound pages, and you can see side by side. Okay, so then the next one would be 3. You can see they didn't come in order. They weren't very nice to me. So this is scan 3 and then scan 4. Oops, can't do that. Undo. You do have to change pages if you want to put them in there. Okay, let me change page. All right, so scan 4. I like looking at those numbers. It helps me for not making a mistake. And then we'll hit save. So to me, that was a really quick and easy way to make those books for my mom. So let's on this next 2-page spread, show you what I did when I made my sample book. So let's say if you wanted to make it like edge to edge, kind of match what your original book was, it's going to take some more maneuvering to make it work. So we'll do page 5 and 6. So I'm on the left page. And then you're going to have to, you can see how it fits. And if I zoom way in, you can pay attention to your text and where it is to make sure it's in a safe place and it's not going to get cut off. For example, this is way closer to the edge. So I'm going to probably scooch it over with my arrow key because I'm not really losing anything over here. So you kind of play around with it until it fits. So this page isn't, a big deal, but let's say you have a page that has a paper on it. A lot of times what I would do is I would make the background a coordinating color. And that way, wherever the page didn't show up, that white background would be the color of that paper. So there's 4 ways. You can do auto book, create and print, use Artisan with this template where you can drag and drop your pages in, or start with a blank page in Artisan, add your photo of scan of your page and maximize it on the page, but making sure you're not losing any of the story. And then if you need to, add a color fill or paper to coordinate with your page that you've added there. One thing to note, we finished adding our 21 pages and we need to add more pages. When you get this kit, it also comes with a zip file of additional pages. So you can add more. We can also add it through the 99-page kits. Let's go. And as you know, you can't add pages when you're in a 2-page view. So to go back to that single page view and we add a page, we'll put it at the end. And if we do from Art Kit, I would go out to that same kit that we created it with and it remembers that. So for me, I don't like doing it this way because then you're doing one at a time. So what I like to do is add a page from my computer and I go to where I stored that zip file, which was in where my blueprints go from P2P, put it in with my 12 by 12. So that 12 by 12 scrapbook pages project. And if I zoom out, individual pages, I'll make it big. What's cool about this is it shows you page 1, right-hand page, page 2, left-hand page, page 3. So when you're getting to where you are in your project, I am at page 21 and I need to add 22 on. So then I could go down here and start adding from 22. So I'm scrolling down 22, and then I can add, if I want to do 10 at a time so it doesn't take too long, I can do that. I'm just going to do a 2-page spread so you can kind of see that process. So I'm adding pages 22 and 23. It's going to bring those in. It's going to take a minute. While it does that, all right, it's called 12 by 12 scrapbook page project bundle, and it's free. And it comes with that 21-page project, the 99-page project, and then a 99 additional pages. And you would add it, and so it would you can add them as a pre-designed template to start your book. You can add them as additional pages as you go, right from a art kit, or you can use it if you like to add a whole bunch of pages at once. That's what this individual pages is helpful for. Any questions? Maggie, is this something you're looking at doing? Making
Well,
new copies of books?
I have had my albums scanned already, and I would like to convert them to digital so I can print more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
I'm interested in this.
Cool. So is there a process of those 4 options? Which one sounded the best to you?
I like the first artisan option that you showed where it just has the white border.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although if I have enough patience, I'd rather do the second option.
Yes. Yes. So I have a gal that's in the process of, she'll buy a box, she'll send books in, and she's been gradually recreating those books and getting them printed. And she's doing that where you have enough patience kind of thing too. Because I really like how that looks. But when I was helping my mom declutter her apartment and making these copies, boy, it's so fast. So,
Yeah.
and it looks good. So it's really a preference thing.
Well, several of my albums are the old CM that are actually 11.5 by 12. So I'm
Okay.
going to have to figure out how to make that work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the later ones that are 12 by 12, no problem. I can just
Right.
adjust them and they'll be fine.
Yeah. So what you could do, so if we go back to, let me share my screen again. So if I right clicked on this, restore original aspect ratio, it's going to take the whole picture into account. And so the whole thing will show.
Okay. So you have a little more space on the right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the option? Restore original?
Right. Restore original aspect ratio. So you right click aspect ratio, restore original.
Okay.